Hi guys, this is Henry Pip again with yet another cosmic character, and this time it's my favorite cosmic character, Captain Marvel, or Captain Marvel of the Kree Warrior. And I have the Faux Bronze edition here, and I have the Life and Death of Captain Marvel trade in the back with Jim Starlin, of course. Um, there is a reason that this character is my favorite character ever. Sorry about that. Um, Captain Marvel himself. I saw the cover of that specific, that specific cover of the death of Captain Marvel. I saw that cover, when I was a kid, and it really left an impact with me. I never read the comic back then, but I wanted to know what the story about it was. Marvel comic book heroes, they died, they die and they come back, and it wasn't really special, and it still isn't special in the Marvel universe. Jean Grey had returned from death at least once, when I was a kid, and I wanted to know what kept him, dead, and what the story was. I was intrigued by it, and the image. Come on, that image really burned, into my memory, into my brain. So I picked this book up, years ago. I read it from back to back. As you can see, the trade itself. It's damaged. It's not been handled very well by me, but that's because I read it like 4 times, and I keep reading it. There's something about the character. There's something about this, his death, that keeps pulling me back, and keeps intriguing me. But back to the statue. This is Captain Marvel Faux Bronze. And let me just turn that around. Give you a good view of it. Yeah, I love the color rendition of this. I saw the regular piece, and it's a very, very, very good statue as well. But I wanted to get this one. Let me just see what edition number this is without dropping the statue, because that would just kill me. It's number 211 of 275, and it was made in 2011, so it's a relatively new statue. It's only 2 years old. I used to own the action statue of Captain Marvel. I bought it not that long ago, but I sold it off to Force of Nature, who is a very well-known collector of statues himself, and he happens to live about 20 minutes away from me, but he's a very well-known statue reviewer on Statue Forum and Statue Marvel, so check him out. He's got a great collection, and he's even got the Genus Fell action statue next to the Captain Marvel action statue I sold him, so it's a very, very good combination, and he has it. But I wanted a more museum post kind of looking statue, because I didn't think the action statue did him justice in a way that I wanted to see him. I didn't want to see him in a very active pose. I wanted to see him in a more monumental pose to remember him by. And I think that this really captures his essence and who he is and his heroic pose. Wow. I love him, I love the nega bands on it. They pop out due to the color. I love the blonde hair. He used to have white hair, which was funny, but then he gained cosmic awareness, and he had like a change, because the comic book itself wasn't very popular in the day, but it all changed when that guy, Jim Starlin, got involved, and he changed up a couple of things. He made him more important in the Marvel universe. He played a pivotal role in some events, and he died later on. I believe it was the villain Nitro. He fought him, and years after that, the effects of Nitro's gas or whatever, gave him cancer. And that's a very realistic way to die. Not the fight with Nitro and the gas, of course, but the fact that he died of cancer. Everybody here knows somebody who had it or has it, or died of it or something like that. It's a very tragic disease, and I hope that we put all our efforts into it and fight it. You know, my sister-in-law, she actually worked, used to work for a cancer research lab. And, breakthroughs are very scarce, I mean, I wish they just find a cure for it. Same thing goes and applies to, to AIDS and stuff like that. But, it's the laws of nature you're fighting here, right? I mean, you can't always win. And that's something we'll have to realize. And that's something that this character in the statue, in my opinion, he symbolizes. He symbolizes that even in death, you can be a symbol, and you can still, fight the good fight. And the fact that he's lost out to cancer and is still dead in the Marvel Universe, for me, is a very important thing. I would not appreciate if they were to bring him back from the dead. I was a bit scared, with the Secret Invasion, I believe, storyline, when the Skrull, Captain Marvel returned and he turned out to be a Skrull. So that turned out to be a scare for me. But the way they did it, by the way, wasn't very bad at all. So if they brought him back in that way, I wouldn't have minded. But I would have a problem with the fact that he's the only one that it has remained dead until today, and I want him to remain that way. And I hope that there isn't some kind of writer, some hotshot writer that thinks, hey, I want to make my mark in the comic book industry, let's just bring him back. Because they do that to all the characters that, die. Colossus has returned from the dead. Jean Grey has returned from the dead like many, many times over. And I can name a lot of characters that, got killed off and returned. And that has something to do, of course, with popularity, and I understand that. But in real life, that doesn't happen. And I do believe that sometimes it's good, to send out a signal that, that life, itself has its value and needs to be valued, And I think that, we don't need to look at comic books for that, but, it is handy and it is good for comic books. At least, send out that same message. So, only thing I would change about this statue is the fact that the base is a bit bland compared to the regular base, the regular painted version. But that's what all the faux bronze pieces. I said that, already with the Deadpool one. They trimmed down the bases, probably not to, so it goes well with the rest of the statue, probably. If this were the original color, it might, not go well with the rest of the statue. The sculpt itself, in my opinion, perfect. This is the way I want to remember Captain Marvel. And this is a piece I will never sell, because this is a grail piece for me. I will never get rid of it. It's one of those pieces. If I were to be able to only keep 5 pieces, if I needed to sell off all my statues, I'd keep this one. At least this one. So yeah, the paint job is great. The sculpt is great. The depiction is perfect. This is the statue for me. I would give it a 9 out of 10, and it's mainly because of the base. If the base had something more to it, if they did something more with it, I would have given it a 10. But a 9 is high. It's the highest number I've given to a statue in my, in my mind, to any of my statues. So it's worth picking up either the regular version or the Faux Bronze version. Don't doubt it. Just buy it. So I wanted to thank you guys, and this is probably going to be my last review for the year. So if I don't talk to you guys, I wish you a very, 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 nice new year, and very pleasant, party. And, you guys enjoy. And if you guys have any questions, let me know. Enjoy. Talk to you soon, okay? Bye-bye.